So we will just see this year's paper. First is, what is sea surface temperature rise? How does it affect the formation of tropical cyclone? The first point is, what is it talking about? Tropical cyclones. And see, this word is simple. What is it? Sea surface temperature rise means what? Temperature of sea surface is increasing. Fine. And why is it increasing? Average temperature of the sea surface, if it increases, we call it sea surface temperature increases. And anytime if they ask you, you have to write reasons for it also. What are the reasons? Main reasons that you talk is about climate change. How do you try to say that it is increasing? Because near equator temperature is increasing, poles glaciers are also melting. So as melting of glaciers occur, can we say that water also enters? So cooling effect has reduced, heating has increased, right? So that is about this particular one. But another 5 marks you have to talk about, like, how does it affect the formation of tropical cyclone? Now, first word, tropical cyclones are thermally induced. Do you recollect? Yes. What is the requirement of sea surface temperature? 24 to 27 degrees Celsius. Yes. Does that mean it require high temperature? If at all sea surface temperature increases, that means number of cyclones increases. Yes. Next, what is going to happen? Whenever, okay, why is oceans required for the formations of cyclones? Because it require moist air. Fine. Next, can I say as of now, most of the cyclones are formed on the eastern side of the continents. But now, if sea surface temperature increases, anywhere you may have cyclones. Earlier, Bay of Bengal had more cyclones. Nowadays, even Arabian Sea is getting more cyclones. So, the locations of cyclones changes. Most importantly is, when we look at the aspect, cyclones are becoming super cyclones. Cyclones are turning into what? Super cyclones. That is what they are trying to tell. This is a climate change based question. But conditions for cyclone formation. What are the conditions? Temperature 24 to 27. Second, what are you going to talk about? Like, moist air. Third, you talk about depth. But fourth, ITCZ. You can talk about ITCZ as well. Now you tell, is ITCZ shifting much in southern hemisphere? No, because oceans are more. But if ocean temperature increases, can we say ITCZ shifts? Yes. If ITCZ shifts, can I say cyclones will be formed? So, ITCZ is associated with high temperature, and increase in sea surface temperature leads to shifting of ITCZ. Conditions. Associate the condition. How do you make answers in the exam? First, write all the conditions that you are aware. Link everything to what? Temperature. You see, first one is associated, 24 to 27 is associated with temperature. Moist air is associated with temperature. Right? Coriolis force is not associated with temperature. Anticyclonic circulation is not associated with temperature. ITCZ is associated with temperature. Conditions, just apply them. And what are the words? If these words are in the answer, you get marks. First, recollect the keywords that must be there. Around that, English can be easily put across. Now, why do large cities tend to attract more migrants than smaller towns? Basically, they have asked this from society, right? But you also have it from geography also, we can discuss. The basic aspect is, we have a core concept which says that as in a city, if there is economic diversity, okay, in a city, if there is economic diversity, normally more number of migrants will enter. If you have less economic diversity, for example, let us say in a city only one type of industry is there, only one type of industry is there, skilled laborers of that will go, only skilled laborers of that will go. Now you take Hyderabad. Hyderabad has software, Hyderabad has industries, Hyderabad has coaching, many things are there. Can we say more migrants come to Hyderabad because of what? Diversity. So what is more important for migration? Economic diversity. Large cities represent more economic diversity compared to small cities. And in geography, people try to explain this with the help of, like, we say gravity model. Gravity model. They try to say that if you have two cities, okay, so in city A, population, let me say, is more, and in city B, if population is less, fine. Now what is going to happen? They tell, according to gravity model, migration is equal to, like, P1 P2 divided by distance square. P1 is population of the city to which you are migrating, okay, yeah, city, and P2 will be village or surrounding area from where you are migrating. So population, if it is more, I'll compare two places. One place population is more migration. Do you recollect gravity? If mass is more, gravitational pull will be more. If population is more, more migration will be there. But at GS level, you need not worry about it. The basic aspect is this. Why migration occurs is because of this particular aspect. Now, what is the phenomena of cloudburst? Right? Explain. Now you see, there are keywords. First, you tell me which points you recollect. Cloudburst means what? You have to write definition. What is the definition here? Less area, less time. What you will have? More rainfall. Less area, less time, more rainfall is called as what? Cloudburst. Which cloud is associated with this? Which is the cloud? You have to talk about cumulonimbus clouds. And you need to talk about the extension of cumulonimbus clouds. Because for cloudburst to occur you need, but the extension is from 1 kilometer to 8 kilometer almost. Then you have to discuss that these cloudbursts are increasing in mountainous region like Himalayas. You might have heard cloudbursts are increasing in what we call as Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, and it is also increasing in cities. Hyderabad, Wayanad, all those were associated with cloudburst itself. Now, why is it in cities? Is because of urban heat island effect. Urban areas are hotter compared to surrounding rural areas. Because of this, you are having cloudbursts. Explain this phenomena more. Can you see Hyderabad nowadays gets rainfall mostly late night. Evening, if you get rainfall, it is convectional rainfall. Late night, if you get rainfall, it is because of urban heat island effect. Fine. Those keywords must be there. What is the concept of demographic winter? Is the world moving towards such a situation? Demographic winter basically means birth rate is reducing. What is the concept? Birth rate is reducing. See, when birth rate reduces, normally population is declining. Countries like Japan, Germany, right? Please understand, always prelims and mains have a link. In prelims this year, they asked a question, in which of the following countries, population is declining? And what is the answer for that? South Korea, Japan, Italy. They were the answers. Now you see, same question. What is the concept of demographic winter? Birth rate is reducing. What is increasing? Death rate is increasing. Which countries are you seeing it? Japan, Korea, Italy, most of the Europe, especially Western Europe, they are all entering into low birth rate. We call this actually as declining phase. Right? Or we call it as post-transition phase. In post-transition phase, birth rate reduces. See guys, in population we will read. We will normally have 3 stages. What are the stages? You will have pre-transition stage. You will have transition stage. And you will have post-transition stage. What is pre-transition? You will have high birth rate and high death rate. What is transition? High birth rate and low death rate. What is post-transition? Low birth rate and low death rate. So world till now, world was in this phase. But now world is moving to this phase. The main reason is China's population is decreasing. China economy is improving. Remember, as economy improves, initially China went for one child policy. And during that, China told you should have only one child. But now economic status, if it improves, people don't want to have more children. They will have one children or two children maximum. So what is happening? Japan, birth rate is very low. We have seen situations where Japan is telling, please have holidays. Please go out. They have gone to the extent where if a public holiday falls on Sunday, Monday is off. Only 4 days you have to work, 3 days you have to spend time with family. Korea, they are actually telling go on vacations. We will fund you. Like, Australia and all, they are trying to tell if you have 3 children, 4 children and all, we are going to give you more scholarships. House will be like, for house, if you build a house, 50 to 60% will be paid by government. They are all called as pro-natalist. The world is little how protected by India. Okay, like, the population is little increasing because of India, that to North India. South India also, birth rates are reducing thanks to college, school fees and other fees, like, which is reducing it drastically. That's what they're talking about this case. Please understand, prelims will have impact on mains. Mains will have impact on next prelims. When you're preparing out of the box questions, just check why it is in news. That helps you. The groundwater potential of Gangetic Valley is on a serious decline. How may it affect the food security of India? See, here two things. They have not asked you to write about groundwater decline in Ganga Valley. Please see here. The question is not about groundwater decline in Ganga Valley. What is the question? How does it affect food security of India? Ganga basin means which states will come? UP, Bihar, West Bengal, right? And in this area, apart from irrigation, the other form is groundwater. People use groundwater. And when groundwater reduces, they actually supply major food grains, or they are the reason for food security in the entire country, because plains. There you can tell how much food is produced in Great Plains of India. And if that area is affected due to lack of water, obviously entire India will have issues. And remember, groundwater, see, here comes first point. India receives 80% of the rainfall in 3 to 4 months. Correct? 3 to 4 months. Remaining period, India won't get rainfall. During that time, if you want to produce more crops, what will you use? Groundwater, irrigated water. And if irrigation is not available, water is not available, second and third crop will fail. And if second and third crop fails, can I say food security issue will be there? Yes, agriculture will discuss, but I'm just trying to tell you that please don't write more about groundwater potential decline. Talk more about how Ganga Valley is responsible for food security of India. How if Ganga Valley doesn't have irrigation facilities, how is it going to affect food security of the country? Fine. That you need to discuss. What are Aurora australis and Aurora borealis? How are they triggered? Guys, when we talk about geomorphology, we will see that Earth actually has, like, geomagnetic fields. Earth will have what? Geomagnetic field. Can I say here, the geomagnetic field will converge near the north, converge near the south. It will be far away near the equator, similar to longitudes. Everything converges near north and converges near south. Now, when you have like this, from the sun, you will get solar winds. From the sun, you will get solar wind. And the solar wind will have dust particles, charged particles. This charged particles from the solar wind is going to hit this particular area. This is not ionosphere. Please don't get confused. It's not ionosphere. It is geomagnetic field. And when there is interaction between charged particles and geomagnetic field, what is going to happen? Colorful sky will be formed. That colorful sky is known as what? Aurora borealis and Aurora australis. Geomorphology we will talk. But in exam, when you have to write answer for that, What is Aurora borealis and Aurora australis? It is called, australis is south, boreal, Siberian type of climate is north. So it is called northern lights or southern lights. What is that? Northern lights or southern lights. It appears whenever there is solar wind hitting the geomagnetic field, right? And whenever geomagnetic field increases, solar wind increases, then what is going to happen? The impact will be more. Fine. It normally comes in the month of October, September, October, during this particular time, when in US and other parts they celebrate, you have, right, that they make a lot of makeups, Halloween. So it is also called, the solar wind is also called Halloween storms, okay, which leads to Aurora borealis and Aurora australis. See, we have a concept called twister. Normally we don't study much because it doesn't affect India much, but this time it had huge effect in Gulf region of US, Gulf of Mexico region of US. That's the reason they have asked the question. Now what is this? This is a tornado, guys. You might have heard tornado. Normally, when will you get a tornado? Okay, when will you get a tornado? You see, a cloud will come. Which cloud? Cumulonimbus cloud will come above. Okay. Can I say cumulonimbus cloud will be mostly cooler? Because of the height and all, it will be cooler. Below you will have warm air. Okay. So what is happening here? You will have cumulonimbus clouds, and here it will be warm. Here you have warm air, and here you will have cool air. Warm air is below, cool air is above. What is going to happen? Can I say cool comes down, warm rises? In that process, normally the warm air starts rising. When warm air starts rising, can I say cool should come down? But the cool comes down in this form. Warm air will be rising like this. Warm air will be rising like this. Cool air keeps coming down. Now this part looks like tornado. We call twisters. Gulf of Mexico, can you see the area like that? Do you have Caribbean islands, all those things? Here warm water will be more, cyclone formation will be more, and you also have, most importantly, what we call as, like, cumulonimbus clouds being formed. When you have that phenomena of cold air above, warm air below, then what is going to happen? The twisters will be more. Tornadoes are more in North America, guys, compared to any other part. India and all doesn't see tornadoes much because of the geographical factors. That's the reason they had asked this. Fine. But anyways, see, these questions, if you check, most of them are current oriented. They are seeing what is there and they are applying, and they are not asking direct questions. Last year was complete direct questions. Primary rocks, all those they asked. So what I'm trying to tell, both you should be prepared. Prelims was more of static. Mains is current oriented. Okay. And if prelims become current oriented, mains is becoming static. There they eliminate on one basis, here they select on another basis. Your duty is to read everything of class notes plus current updates. In that particular year, if something is important, you have to work on it. Kerala, why did it occur? Kerala floods, landslides, why did it occur? If you understand, you get to know why the question is on cloudburst. Hyderabad, Bangalore, everywhere floods are happening. Last year, Bangalore had severe floods. That's why 1 year current affairs is important. And you should have technical reasons also. Fine. Okay.